start, how was the trip?
It was good. It was good. It was a good road trip. We got challenged in some different matches and two pretty good wrestling environments. So I think overall it was a really good weekend.
Talking to Mike Boynton whenever he first became a head coach, he was like, "Oh yeah, I have to call timeouts. That stuff's on me." Is there anything you learned about being a wrestling coach, just being a part of your first two duels?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just. I think just that first match, UVU. I think it's just you're just trying to figure out as much as you're trying. The guys are trying to figure out their flow. We're trying to figure out our flow. There's a lot of preparation that goes into those things, but there's still just the ability of like going and being in a competition. Just like all that stuff. So I think from that match, even reflecting to the Oregon State match, I thought things felt a lot smoother and more normal. Not that it felt not normal again in UVU, just maybe a little clunky in some things, but I think Oregon State was a really good, just better flow.
There's no doubt. I mean, I've been following Oklahoma State wrestling a long time. I can't remember an opening weekend where that many points were scored, team points. But I thought maybe the most impressive thing was in a lot of those matches, even those tech falls, the other team either scored first or made the first move to score points. And it started in a defensive flow for the Cowboy wrestler, but he cranked in the offense.
I don't remember it necessarily being like that, but
Yeah.
I think our guys did a good job of just, we were talking about wrestling for 7 minutes. We encourage them to make mistakes. So I don't know whether you made a mistake and got taken down, or you get in a scramble or get in a flurry. I mean, we want to be well rounded. Whether we're on guys' legs, we're scoring. If they're on our legs, we're scoring. You got to think Utah Valley. They've had matches. Oregon State, they've had matches. For most of our team, that's our first match is March. And building into it. So there's a lot of obviously excitement around the program. So I think that those guys obviously going out and getting started. And Utah Valley was a good wrestling environment. I mean, there was 5,000 people there. I mean, they got a chance to get excited about something. They got really excited. So there's a lot of things that go into wrestling. I think sometimes people just think it's just as easy as going out and scoring points and stuff. But it can be that easy. But obviously they're obviously still kids. They got other things on their mind. So overall, I think really was really happy with the way they wrestled.
What are you looking forward to with your first duel in this building?
A lot of people here. I think that's probably something that's really exciting. But yeah, I mean, we're excited to go out and just wrestle. I think excited to get the season, our home season started here. Really excited to wrestle in Gallagher and the history and the tradition that goes with this program and this arena. And we have some cool things that we're doing for the guys and just the walkouts, and I think things that are exciting. It's not just a dual meet. You're participating in a show, in an event. But it still comes to wrestling. You got to go out and score more points than your opponent, and that's what we're kind of focused on.
Do you think there'll be any emotions for you, just the first meet in front of the home crowd, being introduced, all the history? Do you think that'll hit you, or?
Just appreciate it. Obviously, being grateful for it, but just hoping, really just focus on the guys getting ready to go.
David, what did you see out of Luke over the weekend, especially on Sunday?
It was good. Luke wrestled well. I think he wrestled confident and wrestled, definitely just good matches. So we're just, excited for him getting the season started off. Obviously with the pin, and he can score in a lot of ways. Like, he's a good scrambler, and he's really good on top. And those both that played a factor in both of his matches this weekend. So just continue to work in those areas, and but I think those can be definitely good factors for him as we move forward.
Injuries were, set him back a lot last year and kind of affected the flow of the season. Really couldn't get anything going late because of it. Just to see him have that early success, and especially against someone like Munoz. What did you think of that?
Yeah, I think when you're coming off injury, there's just things that you got on your mind. But Luke's in great shape. This summer when we were getting started, he wasn't on the mat, but we, I was giving him workouts, and he was crushing those workouts. And I was like, man, if you're doing that now, imagine what it's going to be like when you are back on the mat. So when he got back wrestling, it was no getting in shape. He was already in great shape. It's just getting back on the mat. So he's definitely a student and has been working really hard. So it's just good to see him, go out and have some good matches this weekend.
What did you see at 33?
It's good. I think Reese looked really good. Utah Valley, and I thought Kale looked really good against Oregon State. So, you know, we'll see you know where it looks like moving forward. But in terms of the first weekend, you know, obviously they both did a good job.
Do you feel like that could be a kind of an ongoing battle there to see who's in the lineup from week to week?
Yeah, I mean, I think just, you know, one guy separating themselves from the other guy, you know, but not sure that this weekend that was something that happened, but they both looked good. You know, they did what they wanted to go out and do. So, you know, we'll kind of see, you know, what that looks like, obviously, moving forward.
The news nationally at heavyweight, and that's way down the line when you talk about the national tournament. Wyatt realizes there's another competitor at the top of the ladder there. You've been around heavyweights like him a lot. How much can you do for Wyatt to make him an even better wrestler than he is right now?
I mean, it's the national tournament. I mean, there's a lot of really good people at every single weight class, you know. So I think the nice thing about the nationals, at the end of the day, if you're a national champion, you're the best guy in the weight, you know. But you got to figure out a way to navigate that. So I think with Wyatt, you know, what's really cool about him is his energy level and how he competes is pretty remarkable for a heavyweight. At any weight class, his output is really high, you know. And I think just for him learning how to when to rev that up, and then sometimes when to, you know, rev that down a little bit. You know, this week he's got two guys that he feels like he's gonna go out and throw him down. He does that. You know, at some point gonna wrestle some better guys, and just learning how to dictate that pace. But it's the same thing. I think just, you know, being in the Air Force and the other obligations and things that came with that, wrestling was kind of secondary. Where now he can really focus on wrestling, his training, his recovery, his nutrition. So I mean, he's in great shape. And this weekend was a great test for him to kind of push his conditioning. And I'd say moving forward, just, you know, he's got to keep getting better at wrestling. You know, keep challenging him and showing him some things that he's going to see down the road, and, you know, he'll just continue to make some adjustments.